It's Perkins Talks. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully your weekend was good. Hold on, I'm going to tilt it up because I feel like I'm straining myself or killing my neck over here. So originally I wasn't really going to post a video just because I wasn't feeling good. And y'all see my face? See that? Yeah. So if you see me constantly wiping my eyes, I do apologize. But I wasn't really going to record because I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling up to it, and well, that's just the gist of it. I just wasn't feeling good, right, or feeling up to it. But then, as I started thinking about life, right, so life, there's a lot of stuff that we don't feel like doing. There's a lot of stuff that we don't feel like doing. Come on, let's be honest. There's a lot of stuff in life that we just don't feel like doing. We don't feel like going here. We don't feel like working out. We don't feel like eating healthy. We don't feel like we don't feel it, you know. And that's the other word that we used to is like, oh, I don't feel it, so I'm not gonna do it. But I think that at the times that you don't feel it, that's the time most that you should actually do it, because you kind of like have to have like this conversation with yourself, right? You have to have this conversation with yourself to say, you know what? Yes, I know you don't feel like doing it. I know you don't feel up to it, but we're going to do it anyway, and we're going to do it the best we can. Oh, banana's pretty good. But yeah, and a lot of times, as I was talking to one of my friends, so I was talking to one of my friends, and he was talking about the gym, and how with him, he just had to always talk to himself and give himself a pep talk and let himself know, like, hey, listen, no matter what, we're going to the gym. No matter what, we're going to do this. No matter what, this is our lifestyle now. So I'm going to constantly do this. I'm going to constantly do what I have to do to get to the place that I want to get to, or to get to the goal that I want to get to. I'm going to do this for myself. And I think that that's what we need to start to do with ourselves, is start to have these conversations with ourselves and say, you know what, you may not feel like it, you may not want to do it, but you know what, we're going to do it anyway. But you know what, we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it to the best of our abilities. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when you don't feel like doing something, you just don't do it, right? When you don't feel like doing, when you don't feel like going somewhere, you just don't go, right? And of course, that's how it was for me. A lot of times, whenever I don't feel like doing something, you know what, I ain't gonna do it. You know what, I ain't gonna go there. You know what, I'm not gonna go to the gym. I'm not gonna work out. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. Why? Because I don't feel like it. I don't want to. So I'm not gonna do it. But it's at that time that you don't feel like it that you should do it the most. 1 second. So I'm in the process of cooking oatmeal. So if you see some steam coming up, that's what it is. And that's the only reason for the steam. But so years ago, when I was going to church, right? Well, I mean, I still go to church, but I'm talking about a different church. One of my homeboys that I was kind of getting counseling from him and stuff like that. I mean, he had some nice offices and stuff like that, and he worked in some nice places. I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, there was times that he would call me up, whatever, And he was like, "Hey, so you going to church today?" And I'm like, "No, because I really don't feel like it." Um, but then, but for him, he would also go to the youth meetings and stuff like that we had at that church. And so he was like, "Oh man, can you please go? Because I really need I really want the notes from church and stuff like that." So, and and in my mind, I'm like, "Then why don't you go?" But anyway, so he kind of like made me go and stuff like that. And so I'm like, "All right, well, you know what? I'll just go." And even though I didn't feel like going, I went anyway, right? But I'll tell you this. It was one of the best services that I've been to, just because I didn't feel like going. And I started to realize that at the times that I didn't feel like going was the times that I've had or that I've heard the best message. I won't say ever, but it was one of those times that I've heard the greatest message at that time, you know. Um, and that's why I say, whenever you don't feel like it, is the time that you should be doing it the most. Whenever you don't feel like doing whatever it is you got to be doing, that's when you should really be doing it the most. And so I don't know, I forgot how long to cook this oatmeal. So I don't know. It shouldn't be that long though. So 9:06. So we're gonna keep stirring. We're gonna add in some flavor, and then 10-20 minutes we should be done, right? I think so. But anyway, once you start to have these conversations with yourself, once you start to have these inner dialogues with yourself and let yourself know, like tell yourself, like, yo, you may not feel like doing it. You may not feel like going to this place. You may not feel like going to the gym. You may not feel like eating right. You may not feel like doing all that is necessary and possible for ourselves. But guess what? We're going to do it anyway. We are going to do it anyway. And I'm sorry that you do not feel up to going to the gym. I'm sorry that you don't feel like eating right. I'm sorry that you don't feel like being on your purpose. I'm sorry that you don't feel like needing needing something good in your life. I'm sorry that you feel that way. But guess what? We're going to do this anyway. We're going to live our best life. We're going to fulfill our dreams. We're going to fulfill our goals. We're going to fulfill our purpose that God has for us. And we're going to do it anyway. And I'm telling you, it's going to be one of those times that you're just like, wow, that was the best moment I've have had in my whole entire life. That is the best moment that I've created for my own self. And you're going to thank yourself. You're going to say, wow, you know, I want to have more moments like this. Wow. Thank you, self, for actually getting up and actually doing what we were supposed to do. Actually getting up and doing what we needed to do. Because if you don't talk to yourself, if you don't have these talks with yourself and stuff like that, how are you going to even get onto your purpose? How are you even going to complete your goals and complete all that you set out to do for this year or any year? You know, and I think that that's the reason why most of our goals fail, and most of us don't complete our our goals and our objectives for the year, our promises for the year, because we don't have these self talks. So when it comes to February, we're done. We've already checked out. We've already quit. We've already thrown in the towel. We've already said, you know what, it's over. I don't care. I don't care. And we checked out, and then of course by like June we're like, man, I said I was going to do this. You know what? Let me start back on it, and then we start back on it, and then we fall back off, right? And there's nothing wrong with just falling off for a moment, but that's why you need to have that talk with yourself. That's why you need to have that moment with yourself and say, you know what, self, we have to get on it. We have to get moving. We have to do what we got to do to be all that we got to be. And I know like there's a lot of people that don't believe in that whole live your best life now type of stuff, but you will be living your best life once you start to be in the position that you got to be in. Once you got to be in the place that you got to be in, you will be living your best life, and that's just of it. That's just a fact of it. Um, but it all starts with having these conversations with yourself. It all starts with having these little pep self talks and cheering on yourself. Like if you're not gonna be your own cheerleader, then who's gonna be your cheerleader? Ooh, nobody. So that's why I say that you have to have these self talks. Lower this down a little bit. That's why I say you gotta have these self talks with yourself, and let yourself know like, yo, it's gonna be time. It's gonna be time. We're gonna have to go out there. We're gonna have to go and get it. We're gonna have to go and do it. But we can do it. We can. And I mean, if you gotta spank yourself, go ahead and spank yourself. I don't know, but definitely, y'all, definitely, you gotta have these conversations with yourself. Listen, it's Perkins Talks. I'll definitely see y'all next time. Definitely talking to y'all next time. Great things are coming your way. Great things are coming all our way. Proclaim it, live it, be it. You know. I won't say manifest it because I don't believe in that whole manifesting stuff where we just throw it in the atmosphere and all of a sudden we are who we are because we've spoken to the clouds, we've spoken to the air. No. Stop that. Stop that. But anyway, y'all, it's Perkins. So definitely see y'all next time. Definitely talking to y'all next time. Listen, we have merch available. We got hats, shirts, hoodies available. Go ahead and check out the site and see what we got, alright? Take care, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Oh, don't burn.